Hi folks, welcome to my Retro Journal. I'm doing another Dawsember video, or I suppose we can call it WinDawsember. Although Windows 95 and Windows 98, which is what I'm running here, is actually based off of MS-DOS, so this is actually still legitimate MS-DOS stuff. In fact, I will boot this later into MS-DOS, so you can actually run this in MS-DOS. I think Windows XP is the first Windows that is not based off of MS-DOS. What I wanted to do today, though, is I showed this last time, which is the CamMedia flash path for my Olympus camera. I don't have the Olympus camera anymore. And I did finally locate this SmartMedia card. And let me take it out of its container. It's actually made by SanDisk, and it's 8 megabytes. And yeah, I wanted to show how this works. So it's got a clear set of traces. It's hard to get right there, and then it's basically just thin plastic, and it ends up actually going in here. But before I do that, I actually need to replace these batteries with it uses 2 watch batteries, and I have them right here, which are by Energizer. So you basically just take these off. They go this way, and yeah, and then grab these out. All right, let me fast forward to actually getting these batteries out. So I'll be coming back. Boy, that was harder than it should have been. So it's got these protective covers on there. I'm going to pull that off. I probably will store these back and not leave them in, since I don't think I'm going to be using this flash path a lot. But then it goes in here. Oops, like that. And like that. And then we just put the covers back on. And covers go on like that. It's fighting me. Here we go. There we go. So so that's the disk, and now we just load this in. This goes in this direction. All right. Ready to go. But before I put this into the drive, let's just verify that my drive actually works. I have an MS-DOS 6.1. I believe Windows 98 is based off of MS-DOS 7 or 7.1 is what I read. And so if I go and open up my window and click floppy, it does work. And there it is. Hold on. Yeah, so we can read that. So now let's put the actual disk in and see what that gives us. Let's double click on that again. It's reading it. And well, it didn't do anything. Let's close this up again. Oh, yeah, there we go. So it has the Olympus, yeah. I think it's IM or LM. And it is empty. Now, can we copy some files over here? So let's go on the C drive and copy our log. Yep, it's copied over. Let's see if we can actually see this in the MS-DOS prompt. Let's make sure this is still very viewable. Yep. And if I go CD, A directory, and there you can see it. It says FRUN log. And can I copy then CD? Can I copy netlog netlog.txt to A, and it works. Yep, and it did copy netlog.a right here. Let me if I zoom in while I'm so you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm able to see the files on that side, and they also appear on the Windows side. And I assume if I delete this, delete, yep, it's gone. And how much does this? So if I go under floppy A and actually see how big it is, yep, 8 megabytes. So it does see it. That's pretty cool. Now it turns out I have one of these USB readers, but unfortunately all it reads is SD, micro SD, and then it has this what's called memory stick by Sony, and which has two sizes, one that's about the width of an SD card, and then a sub side, you can kind of see it in here, that's the width of a micro SD. And well, I think there's 3 sizes, and it's actually not that popular anymore, so I don't know why this has it. But it doesn't have SmartMedia. What's interesting is, and I can show you if I move my chair. So this is a Pavilion P7-1240, which came out in 2012 at the end of May. So I actually got this off of FreeCycle, and I was surprised that it was actually as new as it is. But you can see it actually has at the very top. It's kind of hard to see, but it has a that's a SmartMedia slot that fits that card, and then it has a compact flash slot. It has the SD slot, and then underneath it, it has again the Sony memory disk slot. That's not really that popular anymore. It's interesting that the 2012 machine has both a SmartMedia card and a Sony memory disk slot. It came with Windows 7 in 2012. And yet Windows 7's last release was in 2011, and Windows 8 came out in 2012. So it's kind of an odd machine. But I'll probably, I don't like to have desktops at home, so this will probably go in the office, and I'll try to put maybe Windows 10 on there, right? Because you're supposed to skip. Anyway, so I do at least have one device, but you can get, and on the motherboard, if you look at this, this is plugged onto the USB, onto a USB connector on the motherboard. So this is just USB based, and you can get these external ones as well. So maybe I'll check out FreeCycle for that, see if I can find it. All right, back to the computer here. So the point being is I can probably get one of these that has a SmartMedia card. But really what would be interesting is if I could actually run this in MS-DOS, because then I could use maybe my Conqueror emulator on the QL just to see if I could then use the SmartMedia card on the QL. So you can actually reboot this machine in MS-DOS mode. So if I shut it down, can you see it? It says restart MS-DOS. And so if I do that, and here it is. So if I go a : does see the drive. If I say dirt, retry, abort. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna work. Fail. Oh, it sees something. Fail on int4, dirty. Yeah, abort. Huh? And now it's giving you 25 megabytes. That's not right either. Yeah, and it's not showing you the file, so I don't think you can see it. So the one last thing I want to try is, I did find drivers for this. So this actually had this machine already had the driver installed, and I kept it. It was called, I think it's one of the FlashPath earlier ones. I did find one for Windows XP, and so the last thing I actually want to try is to see if I can get this to run on my iMac running Windows 7, so that I can use its USB floppy to exchange information between this machine and my other machine. So let me try doing that. So I've got Windows XP mode running on my Windows 7 machine, and here is the drivers. And I've collected a bunch. This was the one that actually runs on Windows 98. I had copied that a long time ago, but I found this one, and if you look at the README, README here, where is it, right here? It says it's for Windows XP Home Edition. So let's give that a try to see if we can get that to work. It's actually right here, and I'm just going to copy it to my desktop because this is actually my desktop for my Windows 7 machine. All right, so let's see what this gives us. Also, for disk drives, I've got the B drive. So the A drive doesn't actually work, but the B drive, you can actually kind of hear that that's the MS-DOS floppy that I have. And so hopefully when I install it, it'll be able to understand the B drive. So, right, copied it over. And so I think it's this one that I want. So I should create another folder called map, MAFPE, and then copy these files into that. It's pretty fast. And then let's just hit the install to see what happens. Or setup, I guess. Warning, you're about to change up. Setup, maybe it's this one. Here we go. Floppy adapter, there we go. I strongly recommend you exit Windows programs, all right? Yes. Program files, smart, that's fine. Sure. Yes, I want to restart computer now. Yes, let's restart it. And this should shutting down the virtual machine. Hopefully it'll start up again. If not, starting a virtual machine. Okay. And let's see if this actually works, which would be, I'm going to get my FlashPath ready. I mean, I do have the ability to read and write CDs, so I can pretty easily communicate with my ThinkPad and my Windows 7 iMac pretty quickly, but still, it would be handy to, because you can get these as 32 or 64 megabyte cards. It's still kind of small, but when you consider my Windows 98 machine as a 2 gigabyte disk, I'll put this in here to see what happens. All right, so I need to, so you need to, this does this, it releases the shared drive, and then it appears here. So will it actually see it? Oh, well, I don't know. Well, it seems to be hitting the drive endlessly. The drive is not formatted, yeah, so it's not seeing. No, I don't want to format it. Yeah, I think it needs to be drive A. Didn't give me any settings to adjust. Was there anything in, did it do anything with, oh, FlashPath, here we go, SmartMedia format. Insert flash into drive A. So it does need to be drive A. So what I need to do is figure out a way to change this to, So there was a program, I read this somewhere because I couldn't get this to be drive A. There was a program called Remounter. How to remap a USB drive in Windows XP to a remounter. Let me do a little bit more research on this. It's probably in my history, but I think there's a way to get a program to do that. So let me come back to that. So I found a program called Remount, and if you use it, so I can let's see, do I have both attached? I can attach this one, and it'll appear as Floppy-B. And certainly, as we've already seen, this works. Now, if I do a remount, so if I run this command, CD desktop, and I do remount -SAB, this actually will do the trick. And now you can see, let's see, I believe, oh, I thought it did the trick before. Yeah, so you can see that now it remapped A to the USB, and this one now is the one that doesn't have a disk inserted. And so now if I run, if I just run the SmartMedia format, notice now it's actually moved to B. So it doesn't, it still is attached to the internal drive, not the USB. So that did not work. If I stick the flash path in, it won't. So another way to do this is I'm going to shut down. And you can also deactivate the and the way you do this is you go in settings. So this is your virtual machine settings, and you go in integrated features, and you, oh, so it's disabled at startup already. Right, so generally this part is actually enabled when you, so it's usually this way. So you uncheck it, and what happens then is when you boot it up, it actually and you hit the delete key, it actually takes you into the BIOS. And then here you can go under advanced and go under floppy and disable it. And exit out of here and say, save configuration, yes. And this will reboot it. And this time, interestingly enough, it's still going to give you the B drive, but no A drive. So it still sees the USB as the B drive. This might work if you have a machine that has a built-in floppy. I don't have that at the moment, so I was trying to use this floppy disk as my, because I think somehow it's just not overriding that drive. But now you only have the B drive. Actually, I have to add it. And you'll see that this is going to appear, oh no, so it does appear as the A drive. But it'll actually read it. Yep. But if I put my Olympus in here, last time it didn't work, so it'll be kind of funny if it worked now. Yeah, it's struggling. It's trying to figure out what's going on, and it's going to come back with an error. And if I try to format it, it's going to come back here. And say, yeah, so no. And then if you do SmartMedia, this time it actually lets you select A and B, but there's only an A drive, and you can say format, test, okay. It cannot identify error, so it doesn't know anything about, yeah. So unfortunately, unable to use this drive in my virtual machine. I haven't I don't want to really install this on my Windows 7 machine because it's hard to undo. Well, if it screws things up because it's such old software. I think though, if I actually had a built-in floppy, this might work. So something to look into in the future. But yeah, it would have just been kind of neat to be able to uh, get it to work. It's certainly not an issue with the Windows XP mode, virtual Windows XP on Windows 7. It's just that I think this particular iMac doesn't have a built-in floppy, and using a USB floppy just screws things up. Although I was able to get this to be A without using the remount, so that worked. So I will leave it at that. Back to the ThinkPad. So that was interesting to play around with the Comedia FlashPath adapter. It definitely still works, and if anyone knows if there's an MS-DOS version, I would love to see if in a future video if I could actually hook my Sugar controller in here, Kemp's controller, and put my floppy drive and then run Conquer, the emulator, which is pretty compatible with a few. I mean, you know, last year's December, I was running that emulator, and it was pretty decent. And you know, if I could actually find an MS-DOS driver for this, I could try to put it. I think I was running MS-DOS 6 on this emulator. I could try to see if I could get it to read this disk, which would be interesting. Seems like right now only Windows, not MS-DOS. So if you have any knowledge of that, please leave a comment. Otherwise, I'm going to end it here today. FlashPath by Olympus. Or I don't know if CamMedia is just the name of the device. And then I used a SanDisk SmartMedia card, which aren't really that popular anymore. SD cards sort of prevail. But I'll end here. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.